Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy T-Croc97 coming back again with another daily live stream. Hopefully, it's not gonna want to lag today. But yeah, ELSA is now a hurricane category 1. It was just put into the hurricane status as early at like I think it was 9 o'clock advisory. It became a hurricane, either that or the 8 o'clock advisory. But yeah, Elsa is now a hurricane right here. Hurricane conditions are occurring on Barbados and are expected elsewhere in the hurricane warning area in the next few hours. Tropical storm conditions are expected to begin later this morning in other portions of the Windward and Leeward Islands. Tropical storm conditions are expected and hurricane conditions are possible over southern portions of Hispaniola over Saturday. Tropical storm conditions are possible over Jamaica beginning Saturday night. Heavy rainfall from Elsa will move quickly across the Windward and southern Leeward Islands today, including Barbados. Outer rain bands will impact Puerto Rico late today into Saturday, and southern Hispaniola and Jamaica Saturday into Sunday. Flooding and mudslides are possible. The risk of wind and rainfall impacts in portions of Cuba, the Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas through early next week. Interests in these areas should monitor ELSA's progress and updates to the forecast. The risk is a storm. There is a risk of storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts in the Florida Keys and portions of the Florida Peninsula early next week. However, the forecast uncertainty remains larger than usual due to ELSA's potential interaction with the Greater Antilles this weekend. Interests in Florida should monitor ELSA's progression and updates to the forecast. So, yeah, I should mention this. So, most people think that because it's a weak storm, like a tropical storm, that it would be, not that bad. But they don't they underestimate the storm surge. Storm surge is one of the most leading causes of a death during a storm, whether it's a tropical storm or a hurricane or a tropical depression. No matter what it is, storm surge, people always underestimate it. And storm surge doesn't just happen in the coast, it happens inland as well. So, the winds could be pretty bad if it gets up there, but right now it's a category 1, which isn't, I'm not necessarily saying it's not bad, I'm just saying it's not as long, like as strong as a category 5. Right now, it's got max sustained winds of 75 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 28 miles an hour. Its current location is 13.1 degrees north, 60.1 degrees west, and let me just see. And that, my friends, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, all that, it's just outside of them right now as of the advisory that just came out. It says it's updated at 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. is the next advisory. Well, was the next advisory. As you guys can see, there's tropical storm tropical storm warnings up here. Tropical storm watches up in these areas. Hurricane warnings are in effect near the storm. The storm isn't really that big of a storm. As you guys can see, the track is small, and therefore the outer area of it isn't really that extending to. See, tropical storm wind extent, it's not that big right there. So hopefully it's gonna die down before it does too much damage to anything, but it's gonna be going and affecting all these areas, most likely going to be affecting. Oh, and I just realized there's hurricane watch in this area too. I just noticed that. And as you can see, where is it? Okay, I can't click on it here, but almost the entire state of Florida is in the cone of the ELSA. However, that doesn't really necessarily mean that it will be affecting all of it. And as you can see here, by 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, it's still going to be a hurricane, but then 2 a.m. Sunday morning, it's going to be a tropical storm again, or it's expected to be. So within the overnight hours, Saturday night into Sunday early morning, it's going to be affecting Haiti and Dominican Republic and some of Jamaica. So be alert, stay safe, listen to your current news, your local news and weather stations. We don't want anything to happen to anybody. So, warnings and surface winds right here. A hurricane warning is in effect all along these islands right here. And if you go more north, there's a tropical storm warning. And then tropical storm watches in effect right there. And then hurricane watch in effect for portions of Haiti, as well as all Dominican and Haiti island. All but the northern part is under a tropical storm warning. And then Jamaica is under a tropical storm watch. There's no other watches or warnings yet so far past. Sorry, there's no other warnings or watches past Jamaica right now because it's still too far out. So let's check out the wind speed and possibilities. As you guys can see, potential tropical storm force winds 1 minute average under less than 39 miles an hour from Hurricane ELSA indicates Hurricane ELSA's center location at 8 a.m. Friday, July 2nd, 2021. Forecast advisory number 8. So as you can see, it's got a 8 no. It's got a 100% chance all along here where it's going to be affecting. And as it gets further out in the forecast, you guys can see that it lowers because they don't know exactly where it's going to be, and that's why this is so big. It's just like the cone. It's uncertain of where exactly Hurricane ELSA will be going. So let me just switch to the radar real quick. Hold up. Alright, we're back. Sorry, I was just putting this on right here. So, Hurricane Elsa at 8 a.m. Not 8 a.m. 8:30 a.m. We got all the hurricane warnings and watches that we just talked about. Tropical storm watches, hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings, hurricane warnings right here. A watch is issued when tropical storm or hurricane conditions are possible within 48 hours. A warning is issued when those conditions are expected within 36 hours. So, that's the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch is 48 hours, a warning is 36 hours. Just in case you guys wanted to know that, or didn't know that. As of 9:55, which was 30 minutes ago, no, 20 minutes ago, my bad. This was current satellite and radar. For some reason, the radar isn't working right now, so I'll try again here in a little bit. But it's right by Barbados and Guadalupe and all that. So, yeah, the orange circle shows the extent of the system's tropical storm force winds at least 39 miles an hour. The purple circle indicates the extent of hurricane force winds at least 74 miles an hour, according to the National Hurricane Center. So, as you guys can see right here, this is the purple circle that they're referring to, and this is the orange one. So, hurricane force winds are a lot smaller, as to be expected with a small storm like this. So, the current info and projected path, current information, it's 75 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 28 miles an hour. Saturday early morning, it's still going to be a hurricane category 1, and then Saturday afternoon, still going to be a hurricane category 1, and then Sunday early morning, as it interacts with this land right here, it's going to drop back down to a tropical storm, and as it interacts with more of these, it's going to weaken. Monday early morning, Tuesday early morning, Wednesday early morning. Still so uncertain about this area right here because it's still too far out. As you guys can see, the cone is very narrow and slim right here, and as you go out, it's getting bigger because they don't know exactly where it's gonna go. The red shaded area denotes, my bad. I said that wrong. Detonates. Okay. The potential path to the center of the tropical cyclone. The center. Okay, so that's something else, you guys. This cone isn't the affected areas. This cone is anywhere the center of the storm can go. So we could have the center of the storm way out over here and not really feel much impacts into Florida unless it grows in size. Or you could have it riding along the coast of Florida and feel the impacts there. Or you could have it way out into the Atlantic over here, and you never know so far out where the center of the storm could be. So, now the spaghetti plots. Most of the models are in agreement that it will be heading over Haiti and Dominican Republic and Cuba. So, they're all agreeing on that. And then you got one right here that's saying that it's going to miss them and head into the Gulf of Mexico over here. And then, like I said, most of them are agreeing that they're going to go into Cuba and then into the Gulf of Mexico and head towards Florida right here. Then you got one over here that says it's going to go up the east coast of Florida. So, right now, they're not all entirely sure of exactly in agreement. But, as you guys can see right here, they all are right here. So, that's why the cone is very slim right here. And it extends up here because all the spaghetti models are not exactly entirely together on this. So, the tropical storm force probabilities. Timing is most likely arrival of tropical storm force winds through Tuesday. Okay, so through Tuesday, we got San Juan, Santo Domingo, Havana, Miami. All those big areas are gonna feel some possible tropical storm force winds. Now, it just depends on where the center of the storm goes. Will it go off into the Gulf of Mexico, which could potentially be bad because the Gulf of Mexico waters are pretty warm right now. So, yeah, that could intensify the storm. However, as we go down, I'll show you guys something that could play a huge factor in it as well. But as you guys can see right here, just like up here, all this is high chance of it, 70 plus, and then as you go out this way, it drops dramatically. So stay alert, stay tuned to your local weather and news stations, as well as stay informed on my channel, because I'll be doing that, as well as posting on Snapchat, Facebook, all of that to inform you guys of it. And when it gets here, if it gets to where I am, I will be going out and recording and doing some, like, just seeing how it is and everything, unless it's actually bad hurricane category 5, which I highly doubt it. It's probably gonna be a tropical storm, maybe a category 1, if that. It all depends on interaction with this landfall right here, as it's all really monstrous and terrainous right here. That's really gonna affect it. That's where most of the storms die down and fizzle out. It's sad to say, because all these are gonna take the brunt hit and brunt force of it, but it fizzles it out. So, and then if you look at the rainfall through Tuesday, all these areas are gonna be getting at least 1 inch. Some right here say 3 inches. So that's and water temperatures right now. This is one thing I was telling you guys about. Right now, it's into kind of warm water. But once it gets up into here, right here is where we're going to want to watch what's going to be happening to the storm, because it's going to be going into the warm waters right now. As you guys can see, it's orange, light orange, and dark orange, and yellow where it's at right now, and then dark red, maroon, and a little pink spot right there, meaning temperatures of 85-90 degrees for the water temperatures. And if you guys know anything about tropical storms or hurricanes or anything, they feed off of warm waters. Warm waters is one thing that continues a hurricane and continues its growth and movement and everything too. It feeds off of warm waters, and right now, sadly, that's the case. There is a lot of warm water in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, so just keep an eye on the storm, guys. So, wind shear. Wind shear is another big thing that's gonna impact the storm, what happens to it. Right now, it's on the northern quadrant of the storm. You can see right here, there's some wind shear that's going into it, but it doesn't look like it's much. And right here, there's little to no wind shear. And then in the Gulf of Mexico right here, in the Gulf of Mexico, there's wind shear, and there's wind shear along Cancun and all that too. So if the storm takes this path, it's going to get hit by these wind shears. And however, if it takes this path along out here, although it could wobble out of the cone as well, I should mention that too. It's going to possibly get affected by this wind shear too. Not a lot of wind shear going on, but things can certainly change. So, the current water vapor satellite. All this yellow right here is dry air. And hurricanes, tropical storms, all that do not like dry air. As you guys can see, the storm isn't completely engulfed in warm air, which is good news for the storm, bad news for everyone else, because the storm could get into here where there's not much water vapor. Where there's not much dry air. So, as you guys can see, it is trying to make its way into the hurricane and choke it and make it fizzle out. But I think the hurricane is going to outcome that, and it will continue onward, sadly. So, and then the Caribbean geographic. Right now, it's the Windward Islands, Leeward Islands, Lesser Antilles, ABC Islands, or Netherland Antilles, the Greater Antilles, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Atlantic Ocean right here, Florida is right here, Gulf of Mexico is right here, Caribbean Sea is right here, and this is Central America. So, yeah, it's gonna be a rough time, especially in the parts where it's gonna be affecting, that aren't still fully recovered from previous storms, because that's still something. So, but like I said, I'll keep you guys informed and updated. I do have to go to work at 1:30 to 6:30, so after work I will definitely be coming back and doing a live stream update on that. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Stay tuned, stay alert to your local weather and news stations, as well as my channel and my socials, because I will be posting all the updates and everything on there. So, yeah. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe with the bell on if you're new around here, so you never miss another important update of this storm or